Thank you for joining me on this project. I have this little chair, so let's get on with it. The piping that I've made to go on the chair, I have cut at 2 inches wide on the diagonal. It gives a little bit more of a flange when I want to staple it into the furniture. Fold that over, slide that underneath like that, raw sides together, and on the longest stitch I am going to sew that into place. Now the advantage of doing it diagonal is it still has the stripe of the flowers and the plain fabric. It's only a small piece, so what I will do is line the center of the pattern up with the center of the stripe of the flowers, so it is quite pleasing to look at. When I get to the join, I'm just going to open that up and sew across and carry on down. Running the back tacking along here with the base against the piping and securing it. I usually go forward a few and then back to where I started. And I'll go forward again and then back. I've put the lining on here so that everything stays firm, putting the white lining on top. I'm going to stabilize that before I put anything else on. I'll be able to cut round, shape it and do what needs to be done. On top of here I've put some dacron, which I brought over the top. I'm going to staple it in a few places but not too much, probably not round the top because I really want the fabric to catch it. I'm short of fabric, I would have done this a different way, but because of the stripe and because of the size of the pattern, although to be honest the size of the pattern really didn't matter in the end, because it's 26.5 inches, but it looks like an all over pattern. The center here I can easily line up because there's that tan line that comes down, and if I match it up pretty much at the top there and pop that in, I'm putting about 1/4 inch underneath just to hold it at the moment. Gently tap that in to hold it. I can lift that in a minute. I've centered either side here to the outside of the legs, looks about right, and I'm going to pull it quite hard to the top and secure it. Pull it out, brings that up slightly. I'm going to secure it here as well and in the middle. I can adjust all of that in a second. So I'm going to bring that down to here and cut along the top of the piping, not too close because I don't want to cut the piping. And now I've got to be careful because I don't have all of it tacked at the top, and take the dacron out as well and pull that away from the center, away from the top, and I'm going to just pop that in. When I say the top, it's really the bottom because it's just at the top because it's facing there at the moment and it's upside down. Pop all of that in like that. I always go both ways, so I'll put it in one way and then I will secure it the other way just to make sure it's in there. There we go. Take my hammer and very carefully bang that into place. Unfortunately the piping is going to look really thin because of the way it's angled up here. I'm going to pull this out to the side before I cut and put it into shape, and again cut it to the top of the piping but not any further. I'm going to catch all of that underneath one way and then the other, make sure all of that's in there and hammer it into place. And I'm going to take that right to this corner here. Ideally what I should have done was brought this panel down where it matches here and brought this one further across. I didn't have enough fabric to do that, so I'm going to do it exactly the same way it was done before. Pull that in to here, not too tightly because I don't want it wrinkling, and I'm going to staple all the way down here. When I get here I'm going to pull this part back and tuck that underneath, and I'm going to cut this back to about here so it's nice and neat along this edge here. I need this to come in at this angle. That's the end of the previous piece and I need to secure it. So I'm going to fold my lining and cut that more or less in line because I do want it to fold like that. And then this I need to decide how much I'm going to fold under it and what angle. I'm really not sure at the moment, so I'm going to cut that with a little bit of generosity too, and out, because I'm really not sure where I want to go with this just yet. I have a little bit of messing to do. I'm going to have to undo these here, so I'm going to put the other side in first, undo the top and work it out from there. I need some double piping. I'm going to pop that in there, wind it around, and then pop this on top like that. Should be almost level, it doesn't matter if they're not. Fold that over the top and slot that under the double piping foot. You can do this with a normal foot, but you just got to balance everything. This kind of come out a little bit, it doesn't matter. Just re-roll it and start sewing, as long as it's secure. And then as I go across, I'm just going to re-roll that underneath and put that on top. This stops the two pieces of piping from crossing over. They do have a tendency to do that if you're not careful. It's on a longer stitch, and I will just carry on down. Fold that back under, pop that back on top and secure. Now before I attach it, I'm going to cut all the excess fabric off the back so that it doesn't show. I've only done a sample of this. And then what I'll do is I'll glue that into position, and because it's on the bias, it will twist and it will turn a lot better than if I'd done it on a straight piece of fabric, either on the warp or the weft weavings. That should work really well. I've folded all of this back under here, and I'm going to start stitching from here all the way along. It's going to be really awkward to get it started because I need a knot in there. I also need all of the loose ends to be behind. See if I can come in at an angle and put my knot behind there. That should work. So I've got my start, go in a few stitches and out, on the other side, in and out, and I'm going to follow that fold all the way to the end. If I'd had enough fabric to go all the way to the back, this piece here would have been separate, and I would have been able to bring the centre back all the way down to the back of the chair leg, but I have to work with what people give me. The stripe on here kind of threw how I was going to cut everything out, so I'm going to just do this all the way to the bottom of the chair so it holds in place. So this is a simple ladder stitch. I use it for lots of things. I'm hoping I can pull the fabric out with each stitch set into the base so that it looks even. Don't often have to sew chairs in, but it's a good thing to know in case you have a chair that's a bit awkward. The other thing that I did was I brought the double piping down, put it behind the single piping here, and just very carefully cut into the shaping so it looked nice and smooth. I've put a screw on the outside edge here into the chair leg in the hope that this will help steady it. Therefore there won't be too much pressure on the corners here to pull out. I think that will hold it quite nicely. I didn't put it all the way in because the piece of wood here was starting to bend in, so I put it in and then released it so it's still in a straight line on both sides. What I did here was I poked the end of the double piping under here and then curled it around. It made a nice little finish there because of the way it came in. The previous one I think went straight down, but I think that gives it a better look. I need to finish all in all. Something you also need to think about is if I had gone all the way across here to this area and then put the back in separately, I would have had to have matched up the fabric here to the fabric coming down. So I would have had a white line coming across here, up, and then the flowers going into the back, because it has to be matching as close as possible. And the piping would have come across, which would have hidden it if it wasn't quite right, but even so, that's something you need to think about, because the top here would be considered part of the outside arm and then the back is separate. One thing I did make sure was that I did the lining on top of anything that was going underneath and then the dacron over the top. The reason is if I kept everything the same way, it meant that the colour underneath would be more even, and I think I achieved that with this project. Remember, if you've got a pale colour, whether it's yellow, pink, whatever, Always put a liner under it to make sure that it's a sharp colour. Thank you for joining me on this project. I will say this project actually kicked my butt. Not just downhill, around the corner and back up again. It was quite an involved project, to say the least. I do feel that this is slightly crooked, but that just might be me and the way the flowers come down on that side and the way they are on this side. I'm sure it all evens out. It's just me being a bit pedantic. I only put double piping on a couple of areas. Feel less is more, and I think it's turned out really, really gorgeous. I hope my friend's going to like it. If you'd like to see more from me, please subscribe, hit the bell button. A few thumbs up would be brilliant. And in the meantime, take care. See you later. Ciao.